Hello, I'm Dr. Ashford, and today I'd like to talk with you about nasal saline irrigations. These are very important for people who either suffer with allergies or who get sinus infections, and even more so for people who've had sinus surgery. For several weeks after sinus surgery, doing these twice a day at least is critical to good healing, and it also makes it much more comfortable during the recovery period. I get a lot of questions about these rinses, and initially, particularly for people who've never used it before, it's a very foreign concept to irrigate salt water in the nose. But there are a few pearls and a few tips that make it a lot easier and get you acclimated to it much quicker so you can start enjoying the benefits. One question I get is, well, why do we use salt water instead of water? Adding salt is important so that the concentration of the salt in the fluid you're rinsing your nose out matches the concentration of salt in our body or in the tissues. If you don't have enough salt, water gets pulled into the tissue and it'll actually make it more stuffy and congested in the nose. Another thing is when you use saltwater irrigations, you can use tap water to mix up the salt water. It doesn't have to be sterile. The only caveat to that is if you have a well or if you have water that doesn't come from a municipal water supply, you would need to boil it just to prevent infections. But I'm going to show you here how I do it. Now you'll see this is the little rinsey bottle. This is very cheap. You just get it at CVS, Walgreens, any pharmacy will have it. Just costs about $4. And I'm going to fill it up here to this line. And see, I'm just using tap water here in our clinic from the Athens-Clarke County Municipal Water Source. And I have the warm water on. This is sort of tepid, lukewarm water here. So I filled it up. We have these little saltwater packets that come with the rinsey bottle. And just open it up. And this has been pre-measured, so the amount of salt will make about a 1% sodium chloride solution. So I just mix that in there. Put the top on. And I'm just going to gently rock it back and forth here. Again, I can kind of feel the salt water in this bottle. It's kind of warm, kind of like a baby's bottle. About the same idea. All right, so here's the critical part. When you rinse it in the nose, two things. One is that the tip of this should seal in one nostril, and the entire contents of this need to go through one side, all the way around, and come out the other nostril. It should not go down the back of your throat. The key is that your palate in the back of the throat should close off the nose from the throat. The question is, well, how do you do that? The easiest way I found is to do Darth Vader breathing. That will basically cause the palate to close, and as you breathe heavily through your mouth, airflow won't be going through the nose down the throat. And so no salt water is going to escape down the throat and make you feel like you're drowning or gagging. So I'm going to demonstrate that, and the key is to listen and watch the breathing and watch what's happening in the nose. So I'm going to put it here in the nostril, and I'm going to start breathing. Oh, that's refreshing. It feels so good. It is white. Sometimes a little bit will keep the dripping out for a few seconds, but that's okay. It feels refreshing. It feels clear. One other thing to point out, and again I mentioned this is the Sinus rinse bottle. Most people really prefer this. I've used them all. To me, this is my favorite. This is another common one. Everyone's heard of the neti pot. There are many different versions. This is a cheap version of the neti pot. I'm going to demonstrate this, and one of the reasons why I prefer this one, I think, becomes pretty clear. Again, the concept is still exactly the same. You fill it up with warm tap water. Again, same little salt packet here. Let's add the salt in. So the thing about the neti pot, and it's been around longer, but the issue I have with it, although it works, and some people, if you prefer it, that's totally fine, but it takes some more contorted body posture to actually get the rinse to go through. So you saw with this, I just lean over a little bit, maybe tilt my head. Same concept you see with the nozzle here. Put it in the nose. But now you see what I have to do. I have to lean all the way like this It's doing the same thing. It feels the same. A little went down my throat because I was talking. Oh. So I was not following my own advice, and I tasted a little saltwater. I wasn't doing the Darth Vader breathing. So anyway, you see, that's really the main difference. Is it just takes a little bit more work to get in that position. But either way, it's the same saltwater solution, and it really helps a lot. And it's absolutely critical after any sinus procedure or nasal procedure. You're doing this at least twice a day.